Hello and welcome to Sunday Sermon on Politics Social. I am Graham Hughes. Thing to press. And a big shout out first and foremost to everyone in the chat. We've got Simon Smith in there. We've got Martin Harrow. We have got L Butterfly Effect and we've got Miss Elsby. And who else? We got Pete's Music and who else? Pete's Music again. Shropshire Chris. Hello. If you would like to join our lovely friends in the chat, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button. Wait for approximately, 60 seconds, and you'll be able to join in with the chat. So today we're going to be talking about Trump. Sorry, I apologise profusely. But we do need to talk about the fact that the leader of the free world, as they like to call themselves, don't they, over in America? It's like when they have the World Series, that they're the only country that competes in it. But, it's a series of the world, apparently. Apparently, it was sponsored by the World newspaper. That's what I heard. Might not be true. It might all just be, advertising. Don't forget, the Mercury Music Awards is still named after, not Freddie Mercury, but the now defunct telecoms company from the 1990s, Mercury Communications or whatever they were called. Do you remember them? Do you remember rabbit phones? You could go and use your phone if you were close enough to a corner shop. Yeah, the 90s were a wild time. Anyway, so let's talk about the gold-plated presidency. This is not just corruption. Hang on a sec. Not just corruption and any kind of, standard level. This is corruption that can be seen from space. Trump is now openly accepting foreign gifts, clocks, gold bars, medals, aircraft, crypto investments to the tune, and this is how much money it's estimated he has made personally since he became president less than a year ago. Okay? Brace yourselves. $5 billion. $5 billion with a B. That's how much he's made since January. Out of all this, out of people just essentially bribing him. Absolutely. I say essentially, they're not even hiding the fact that they're doing this. Let me move over a little bit so you can see Hans Gruber better. There he is on there, the 7th, because it is Sunday the 7th of December 2025. Here we are. So yeah, it's not even 11 months in, and he has made $5 billion. $5 billion with a B. And these gifts that he's received line up with favourable policy shifts like tariff cuts, regulatory rollbacks, geopolitical favours, and also, the deregulation of the crypto industry, something that Nigel Farage is also quite interested in. I wonder why. It's almost as though this is governments of the billionaires for the billionaires. And it is textbook quid pro quo, done in daylight, normalised, I guess, through spectacle. Democracy collapses when it becomes purchasable. And Nigel Farage's £9 million donation from a single crypto-linked billionaire who lives in fucking Thailand, whose crypto shit is a way of getting Russian rubles out of Russia to fund their fucking disgusting tyranny, their war, their barbarism, their butchery in Ukraine and in Europe, in our continent. This is what these invaders are doing. This is what these barbarians are doing to us, and it's being funded by the likes of the bastard who just gave £9 million to Nigel Farage. On top of the money that he's already given, that same guy has already given like 10 million over the years to Farage and the Brexit Party, as it was then. Miss Paula Thomas, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Between them, Trump and Farage seem to prove De Gaulle right. What, that British people and American people are fuckers? Possibly, Miss Paula Thomas. I don't know. It's just, at the moment, it just feels really, really grim that they're getting away with this in broad daylight, and the supporters, these holier than thou, fucking parsimonious little bloody, sanctimonious fuckwits, these hypocritical shitbags who vote for these motherfuckers are all like, oh yes, well, if it was a left-winger taking bribes, I'd have a problem with it, but it's my guy, so it's okay. Everything's okay. Everything's cool. What fuckers? It's wrong on both sides. And you see this a lot, don't you, when you talk about Epstein and they go, oh, Bill Clinton's on the list. And I'm going to quote someone else. I didn't come up with this joke, but like, oh no, Bill Clinton's on the list. I'll have to sell my Bill Clinton hats and my Bill Clinton NFTs and my Bill Clinton watch and my Bill Clinton phone, which I still haven't received. I'm going to have to send. And this all comes to a head, really, with this ridiculous, insulting award to a man who has overseen the terrorization of an entire nation in the form of Venezuela. People scared to go out fishing, for Christ's sake, or anywhere on a speedboat because they might get blown up by the Americans. And if they're not killed outright and they're clinging on to the wreckage of half a boat, half a panga, that's only staying afloat because it's got like a little air chamber inside it. It's very hard to sink pangas. They're designed that way. But they're hanging on. And an hour later, they come back and kill the survivors in the water. And this was a boat that wasn't even heading towards America. This was a boat that was heading towards... And I don't know what people think, how people think boats work, right? But I've been on a lot of boats, right? I'm gonna pull rank on this because I don't think there's anyone out there who's been on watching this, who's been on the variety of ships, boats, tramp steamers, cargo ships, cruise ships, yachts, sailboats, as I have, right? I don't think there is. There might be someone who's as mad as me and tried to go to every country in the world without flying, and that involved a lot of fucking boats. But I've been on a lot of fucking boats, and they don't go very fast. Okay, that's your takeaway, all right? Unless you're a professional sailor, you might not know this. They don't go very fast. Okay, even a fucking speedboat, even a jet ski doesn't actually go that fast when compared with land-based forms of transport. And you know what? There's a reason for that. There is a very good reason for that. Because if the water gets a bit choppy, it's fine if it's like a lake. If you go jet skiing on a lake, I'm sure it's going to be fine. You go jet skiing in the Bocas Lagoon in the morning, it's like a fucking plate. It's like a mill pond. Yeah, that's fine. But you're out there in the Caribbean during hurricane season and you're on a fucking jet ski or you're in a little panga with some 4 outboard motors on the back of it, you're going to be hitting that fucking sea like hitting concrete every couple of seconds. And the idea that someone's going to do that hundreds of miles with a little bit of drugs in the back to take to America is just, I mean, it's beyond, it's insulting that they think that anyone believes this. And it's kind of insulting to humans that people do. There's a bit, there are humans out there going, yeah, that's something they could do. They could put a little bit of drugs on these boats. So this guy, Trump, is actively murdering people from another country in Caribbean waters, not even American waters. Do you know what I mean? This isn't like off the coast of America as the boat's coming in, they take them out. No. These are people off the coast of Venezuela. In one case, it was someone off the coast of Trinidad and Tobago, which is just, for those of you at the back, it's a different country. And the people on board the boat weren't even from Venezuela. They were from Trinidad and Tobago. And yet, he's been given a peace prize. A peace prize by a football body, by a sporting body. He's been given a peace prize. So I think the Daily Mash made a joke about the Nobel Committee in Sweden are going to now give out a Golden Boot award. The Nobel Golden Boot, because it makes about as much sense. Hans Gruber was a victim of corporate greed. Thanks very much to Miss Elsby. We need the rehabilitation of Hans Gruber. What else we got? I woke this morning to find I won the best FIFA shoe wearer award. Oh, that is fantastic, Captain. I'm glad you got some. Did you get some golden shoes to wear? I'm sure they'll look boss. And there you have it. I mean, this manufactured bribe from FIFA, creating this new peace prize with no criteria, nomination, or oversight. Senior FIFA officials were unaware of the event. And it was just designed specifically for Trump. Infantino, the leader of the president of FIFA, who's really fucking corrupt, allegedly. He's massively fucking corrupt. He's a twat, allegedly. Allegedly, he is the devil. He lavished praise on Trump, and he gave him a medal that he could, quote, wear everywhere. And Trump used the stage to boast about saving millions of lives, which is just, it's just pure propaganda. In fact, Trump has cost millions of lives, untold millions, possibly billions, and I'll tell you why. Not only has he normalized the idea of, sorry, my coffee is really hot, just burnt my mouth on it. Let me open this. Oh God, I've got to open that up. Let that cool down a bit. Wow. Not only has Trump taken these massive bribes, right? He has also overseen the placation of the Russians at every step of the way. The Russians declared, they said they weren't going to have a peace deal back in 2023, back in 2024 and 2025. They've said that no to a peace deal every year. Every year they've had the opportunity to have some kind of ceasefire. They have either violated it or not gone for it anyway. And Trump just lets them keep doing this, right? And what the signal to the rest of the world is that it's okay to invade your neighbor. Millions will die as a result of that, okay? Then you've got climate change. Millions, perhaps billions with a B, are going to die because of climate change. And what's Donald Trump doing? He is accelerating the forces of climate change. He is feathering the nests of the oil companies, the coal companies, the gas companies, the oligarchs, these merchants of death, these purveyors of this toxic slime that is destroying the planet. And he's given them even more money, more opportunities to drill, baby, drill. His words, drill, baby, drill. This is beyond disgusting. And billions will die. Billions with a B. And then you've got the war on vaccines that is being carried out. He's replaced people in the CDC in America, the Centers for Disease Control, with his own lackeys who are going, yeah, well, just because there's no evidence that these vaccines do anything other than stop you getting deadly diseases and dying of those deadly diseases, it doesn't mean that they're 100% effective. It absolutely fucking does. It absolutely fucking does. And although some people might have some minor side effects, mostly caused by the needle going into your arm, which could be the same whether you're giving yourself insulin or Ozempic or, I don't know, heroin. This guy, he's saying that he has saved the lives of millions, when the reality is he has condemned billions to a painful and premature death through war, through famine, pestilence, flooding, fires, disease. Donald Trump is the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse put together on a severely fat horse, a big yellow fucking horse. And the Peace Prize, this like, it gives this ego stroking, doesn't it? Ego stroking to the president, to President Trump, in exchange for access and influence. A CNN panel said countries are treating our president like a baby to manipulate. And they fucking are, aren't they? They're treating him like a toddler. I go back to that episode of The Twilight Zone called It's a Good Life, where there's a little boy played by Bill Mummy, and he has powers. He's only like 7 years old, and he has these powers. His name is Anthony in the show, and everyone tries to placate him. Everyone tries to be extra super nice to him so that he doesn't do bad things to them. He doesn't do horrible things to him. And we've got the flattery and bribery have become acceptable diplomatic tools for the most powerful man in the world. And after this is all over, right, whatever's left of America at the end of all this, they need to change their fucking system, because it is fucking bananas that you have one man who is not just head of state, like our king, he's also head of the government, like our prime minister. But on top of that, he's also in charge of the army, the navy, the Air Force. He's also in charge of the Coast Guard and Homeland Security. He's in charge of the FBI. He's also in charge of the CIA, the NSA, the CDC. He's in charge of all this. He's in charge of all this stuff. What the fuck? How can one man be in charge of the Forestry Service of America. Like, how does that fucking work? How does he get the sign off on this? You've given all this power to one man. And what happens if this one man is an evil, demented Nepo baby who doesn't give a fuck about anything to do with America or the world, making it a better place or making people's lives easier? No, all he wants to do is feather his own nest to the tune of $5 billion so far. If he survives the whole length of the term of office, he could make well in excess of $20 billion, well in excess of $20 billion out of all this. And he's taking that money from common people. He's taking that money from the folks who are barely scraping by, as wages have not increased. They've not risen with the cost of living by any appreciation of events. Do you know who have done well? Do you know whose wages have gone up? The filthy fucking rich, the super rich. They've seen their assets accumulate value to an almost mind-boggling degree, while the rest of us were struggling, really struggling during COVID. What were they doing? They were feathering their nests. They were making so much money, it's fucking painful. And here we have the Swiss gold bar, the Rolex, the Rolex fucking carriage clock that they gave him. They gave him a clock made out of fucking gold. This was Swiss executives who met Trump at the White House earlier this year. He got a Rolex desk clock, a gold desk clock, and an engraved 1 kilogram gold bar. I mean, literally giving the king a golden bar and going, here you go, mate. And he's like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, that's great. Thanks for that. You know, it's just fucking crazy. I think there was a Kanye West song before he went crazy about that. The lyrics were, no man should have all that power, says Tommy. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so days later, after this, after getting this gold fucking bar and this fucking carriage clock, whatever, Trump slashed the tariff imports to Swiss imports, sorry. He slashed them from 39% to 15%. To 15%. And the former Bush ethics lawyer, Richard Painter, called this an inappropriate appearance of quid pro quo. Do you think, mate? Do you think it might be? And under US norms, presidents cannot personally accept foreign gifts over $480. $480. He's accepted $5 billion. And he's not supposed to accept anything. Foreign gifts above $480. I mean, fucking hell. I mean, fuck. But this is it. Trump was supposed to hand over his tax returns. He was supposed to hand over the values of his stuff. He was supposed to take away any kind of money-making enterprise that he had. Jimmy Carter famously had to give up his peanut farm in order to be president, or put it in a trust for other people to run while he's president, so he can't make rules to feather his own nest. And Trump's just thrown that in it's just yeah, whatever. What is this? Is this a law? No, it's a convention. Oh, okay, then fuck that. And then he's presented with something. Is this a law? Yeah, it is a law. All right, just give me a second. Hang on. Let me get on the phone. Hello, is that the Supreme Court? Yeah, can you make that a law? Yeah, cheers. And then the Supreme Court, a group of 9 unelected twat bags, 6 of them fucking double twat bags, they get to say, yeah, no, that's probably legal. I don't know. Whatever. It's all just on a handshake, innit? Nothing matters. There's no real law. Not for the rich. Not for the rich and powerful. The laws and rules, they don't matter to the rich and powerful. Oh, you know. And the Swiss MPs, right, after this happened, right, with them getting this fucking carriage clock and this fucking gold fucking bar, literally giving the king gold to ask for shit. Your Highness, maybe we have something. Here you go. Swiss MPs launched an investigation after this into whether they themselves had bribed the US president, which they totally had. They totally had. But foreign governments are worrying more about US corruption than the US. They're worrying about it more than Congress does. Institutions are failing in America to left, right, and center. And you get these dickheads going on, online, Nancy Pelosi and Elizabeth Warren, and even the what's his name, the fucking leader of the House, gobshite, Hakeem Jeffries, and that absolute fucking clanger over in the Senate, who's the Senate Minority Leader, Chuck Schumer. He's just cook Cook Schumer, they call him. He goes, oh, Trump has just got in a steamroller and literally rolled over an orphanage with all the orphans trapped inside, and he squished 27 of them, and they're dead now. They're all stretched out, like that. I'm going to write him a strongly worded letter about this. Yeah, Trump's just literally dropped a nuclear bomb on a nunnery in, I don't know, fucking North Korea. Oh, mate. Oh, God, that's awful, that is. Oh, I'm going to have to write a strongly worded letter. Trump has personally poisoned a well and then made everyone drink from the well. He's killed 1,000 people, men, women, and children, in this cult that he's got down in Guyana. Oh, that's bad. Oh, God. I think my strongly worded letter might have to run into 2 fucking pages. Well done, Chuck. Well done, Chuck. You strongly worded letters, mate. Fucking hell. And then it comes to the Gulf states. Oh my God. The money that Trump and his crime family have received from the Saudis. Jared Kushner got $2 billion from the Saudis. Yeah, it's not sorry. We don't want anything in return. It's fine. Meanwhile, the Saudis get the FIFA World Cup, don't they? For the 2036? Is it? Gobshites, absolute gobshites. 2030, yeah, 2036. I think. No, that can't be right. Be 2034, won't it? Yeah. Just. Anyway, and Qatar, another Gulf state, gave a fucking £400 million golden Boeing jet at 747, a gold 747. Thank God there's no poverty in the world. Thank God there's no Muslims who are suffering anywhere in the world. Thank God that the people of Qatar, the leaders of Qatar, are there for the Muslims of Mali and Burkina Faso and the north of Cote d'Ivoire. They're there, aren't they? For the Muslims living in Pakistan, the Muslims living in Afghanistan, the Muslims living in Tajikistan. Yeah, they're there. They're there for them. Those people living in squalid conditions. They've got no access to running water. They've got no access to, a decent job, decent salary. Yeah, they're there for them, aren't they? These fellow Muslims around the world, really helping them out. Just like the Vatican really helps out those Christians around the world who aren't doing so well right now. They really help them out. Go to the Vatican, check out all the gold statues they got there. The golden fucking statues. They got their own bank. They got their own country that you can walk around in a couple of hours. I've actually done that. But, it's just fucking insane, isn't it? Isn't it like, we've got all this money. What should we do? Should we help these Muslims living in these other countries that aren't doing so well right now? Really suffering. Or should we buy a gold-plated fucking jet for $500 million fucking dollars? Oh, God, get the jet. Fuck them. Let them suffer. The people who are in charge of religion like to say, and this goes across a few different religions actually. They like to say, this life is suffering. This life is suffering, but it's okay. You can suffer in this life, but in the next life it's going to be awesome. Yeah, you never get the people in charge of these churches, never get people in charge of these temples saying, living that life, do you? They're always living the fucking fine life. I still love the idea there's been hundreds of popes and every one of them's turned up at the pearly gates and tried to explain to St. Peter how they weren't a rich man. And St. Peter's like, yeah, but you lived in a palace, mate. You lived in an actual fucking palace. You wore clothes woven with gold. You slept in a 4-poster mahogany bed in a palace in its own country with its own train station and its own fucking bank. Yeah. I was poor. I was a poor man with my own bank. Oh no, it wasn't really mine. Like technically, can I get a lawyer, St. Peter? Can I get a lawyer to argue that it wasn't really my money on it? And St. Peter's there's like, sorry, Mr. Pope, you want to come into heaven based on a technicality. A wizard wheeze, a funny little joke. He didn't really mean it. When Jesus said that, it was harder for a camel to pass through an eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter heaven. What he was actually talking about was, he was talking about a donkey being able to pass through a specific gate in Jerusalem, which was quite narrow, and you had to take some of the things off the donkey to get the donkey through there. Sorry, what? No, camel, eye, needle. That's pretty fucking obvious what those things are, right? Yeah, but can I get a lawyer, please? Can I get Clarence Darrow here to fucking represent me? Just what? So yeah, the UAE sovereign wealth funds have invested $2 billion. So that's Saudi have given $2 billion to Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law. Qatar have given him a £500 million fucking jumbo jet, $500 million jumbo jet, right? Gold-plated one. UAE sovereign wealth fund, which they have in these oil-producing countries, not this oil-producing country of Britain, you know. All these other countries, they had a sovereign... Qatar's got a sovereign wealth fund, looks after its own citizens. Norway's got a sovereign wealth fund, looks after its own citizens. Do we? Do we fuck? Because they want rich people to get richer. But yeah, UAE, they invested the sovereign wealth fund. So this is the UAE government, right? This is not private investors from the UAE. This is the actual government of the UAE. They invested $2 billion into a Trump-linked stablecoin project. And these financial benefits coincide with Trump easing political policies, sanctions, and pushing for more defense deals. You know, selling more stuff at a discount rate. These financial benefits to Trump are an absolute fucking disgrace, and the Gulf rulers perceive Trump as uniquely susceptible to flattery and personal enrichment. These gifts function as geopolitical leverage disguised as partnership. It used to be, if these countries wanted something good off America, they had to be really nice to America and the American people and allow them to go there visa-free, or allow Americans to invest in their country, or allow this or allow that, or, you know, bring down tensions between bordering states, etc. Right? That used to be the way. There was a quid pro quo. There's always been a quid pro quo in international relations, but it used to be, quite simply, that if you were another country and you wanted to curry favour with the British state, then you had to curry favour with the British state. You had to make things better for people living in Britain somehow. But now you don't have to do that in America. You don't have to make things better for the 350 million Americans that live there. You just have to make things better for one man. One man who wants to sit on fucking, you know, a pile of gold like fucking Smaug. And then you got crypto. I mean, I mentioned this earlier, but oh my God, Trump has made over $1 billion in crypto in just the first couple of months in office. And they reckon it's up to $5 billion that he has made so far, putting everything together, crypto and these other gifts that he's been given. Trump brand meme coins like $DJT and $Trump, or sort of Strump, as people call it, surged with help from foreign-linked wallets. Binance's founder, CZ, promoted Trump's crypto platform, and Trump later pardoned him because he was actually a fucking criminal. Crypto, someone who conned people out of money. Crypto is taking money from saps, from dickheads, I'm sorry there's some crypto investors watching this, but please divest yourself as soon as possible. Cut your losses. Get the fuck out of there, because all you're doing is funding tyranny. I know it's bad enough people smoke and give money to the fucking cancer lords, but this is even fucking worse. This is giving, hate Trump, hate all the things that Trump does. Oh, have you thought about investing in cryptocurrency? No, fuck off. It's a fucking con. It's a con to take money from people who haven't got much money and give it to people who already have too much money. It is a con. Across the board. There is no good crypto coin. There is no good NFT. They are all bullshit sold on a bed of nothing. There is no wealth beneath it. I was thinking last night, I watched another episode of Pluribus, which is a really good show. And there was a scene in it set in a casino, right? I'm going to spoilers. It's just that it was in a casino, right? And this had nothing to do with the story, the plot, whatever. And I just thought, isn't this mad? Like we have like James Bond, don't we? Go into a casino, and casinos are like cool, aren't they? They're not. Have you ever been to a casino? They're fucking horrible. They're the same sort of aesthetic as what Trump has in the office, in the White House now, in his office, where he's got these, you know, these things on the wall that have been spray painted gold to give this illusion of wealth. But they're tacky as fuck, and that's just the fucking carpets. Your feet stick to the carpets. There's full of old people like pulling those, one-armed bandits and going chicka 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 and just like enjoying it somehow. I don't know if people enjoy that kind of thing. Cool, but it's really childish. It's like a children's play center for adults. That's what casinos are. Take a step back. I'm going to write this book. It's going to be called Take a Step Back. Take a step back and think about these high-stakes poker games that they have. They're playing with plastic tokens. They're playing with toy money. They're playing with toy money. I know you can transfer it into real money, but it's not like you're putting actual fucking coins on the table. You're not putting actual notes on the table, are you? You're putting little fucking tokens. Like you're having a game of fucking Monopoly or Ludo or something. Or Cluedo. Cluedo or Ludo. One of the two. It's like you're playing a fucking kid's game. But what the fuck? And this is seen as like, oh my god, it's so cool. Look at James Bond in his casino. High stakes. It looks like a bunch of children playing fucking games in a... It's not sexy. It's not cool. Despite James Bond trying to make it cool, because obviously, I don't know, the casino people paid Ian Fleming a lot of money to say, hey, make casinos look cool, but they're not. They're not. They're just trashy trash palaces. And look, some people enjoy them. Some people, especially in their autumn years, I guess they like being infantilized and going back to the days of being a little kid again and playing a little fun game. But, I mean, it's just... And that's fine. That is absolutely fine. I'm sorry I sound like I'm belittling this a lot, but it's fine. I once went to film something at the bingo hall in just around the off the roundabout, the Greyhound roundabout on the East Prescott Road, and I was shocked at just how miserable it all was. Because when I was growing up, like you'd have a game of bingo in the church or in the school or whatever, PTA meeting or whatever. And it'll be fun. Do you know what I mean? It'll be like, oh, legs 11. Oh, two fat ladies, 88. Bit sizes, but whatever. You'd have all that, wouldn't you? Right? Not in these fucking bingo halls. You've been in one. Some people enjoy it. And again, I'm not one to judge. Some people enjoy doing fucking spreadsheets, right? But basically, it's someone reading out numbers. 42, 17, 97, 64. 42. And the people are dabbing. They've got these big dabbers and they're just dabbing. They've got like, they'll have a piece of sheet or whatever, and they've got like, I don't know, 12 of them in front of them. So they're all playing all these sheets all at once. And they're like this. And they don't look up. They're just listening to the numbers and dabbing the numbers. Just... and it looked like something out of a Terry Gilliam dystopian fucking nightmare. Or what's his name? The guy who wrote Metamorphosis, Kafka. It was like a Kafka-esque nightmare. Just like, imagine if you said to a group of old people, hey, listen, I want you to sit in this room all day and I'm going to shout numbers at you. Not shout. I'm going to say numbers in a monotone voice. And I want you, when I say the number that's on these sheets, I want you to dab down on that number. I want you to do that for hours on end. You'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. What the fuck? Seriously? Oh, but I might pay you. Oh, no, even better. You have to pay for the privilege of doing it. And, some people enjoy it. I'm not having a go at the people who enjoy doing this kind of thing. That is fine. However, for that kind of aesthetic, for that chic, for that bingo chic, gala bingo chic to be transferred into the White House, oh, damn, Jesus, fuck. And the way he's made the White House look now, it looks halfway between a bordello, a brothel, and a casino. It's just tacky as shit. Painted plastic on the wall. Painted plastic baubles on the fucking wall. Thank you very much to Ms. Paula Thomas. The Oval Office is late Saddam decor. Yes. Yes, it is. Thank you very much for the super chat there. Paula, it absolutely is. So yeah, crypto, just fucking gambling. It's just taking the same sort of misery, monotony of gambling and just putting it onto your phone so you get to see that your crypto coins, your value of you would have a whole coin, your fraction of a coin that you have has gone up slightly, and then you wake up the next day, it's gone down. Hey, great fun. And then there's always people like, I made so much money, and you're like, well, take it out then. Right, fine, But the reality is that most people who play the national lottery never win the national lottery. Someone will. That's just statistics, but vast majority fucking won't. They'll just give money, thousands of pounds every year to the National Lottery and get nothing in return. Except shit, miserable movies made by posh people, about posh people, crying, ugly crying. Anyway, so yeah, the crypto thing, it's like the big problem with it as well, not just my moral problem with it all, but it effectively allows anonymous foreign money to flow it directly into assets that personally enrich the president. And deregulatory efforts like the Genius Act, which the Republicans want to put through, would supercharge stablecoins that Trump personally profits from. So this isn't even a case of foreign countries bribing Trump. This is going to be a case of actual countries in, actually America itself, the Congress, putting this in so he can make loads more money. And foreign governments and oligarchs can then secretly influence by pumping Trump-linked coins. They just put money into it, and there's no worldwide authority or regulatory body on cryptocurrency. There isn't one. What are you going to do? So the Russian president could literally give Trump $1 billion to stop sending weapons to Ukraine, and the president of the United States will stop selling weapons to Ukraine. Actually, they've already stopped sending weapons to Ukraine. The only way that Ukraine can get any more weapons out of America is if they pay for it. And this isn't how democracy should work, is it? Is it? Like, who defends this? Who is out there defending Trump taking all this money? Yeah, it's just what a president does. No, it's not. Yeah, but look at Nancy Pelosi and the insider trading that she's done. Yeah, she's made a couple of million. I mean, that's fucking small fry compared with what Trump has made. And I think that's wrong as well. It's like Bill Clinton all over again. Bill Clinton was found to be on Epstein's Island. Put that motherfucker in jail. Put him in jail. Hang him. Hang him up by his arms. Or his legs. Hang him upside down by his ankles for the rest of the fucking time. I don't give a fuck. I'm not part of some fucking fan club for Bill fucking Clinton. Or any of those bastard knobheads who went to fucking Epstein's Island and hung out with that massive paedophile. But the people who are in a cult, right? They can't understand how anyone else can't be in a cult. You saw this all the time when Keir Starmer became leader of Labour. And like everyone, including myself included, who voted for him to become leader was just like, yeah, whatever. And I had that from Owen Jones at the Labour conference, not this year, he got kicked out, but the year before. He was like, oh, I bet you fucking love Keir Starmer. And I'm like, I don't. He's just some bloke. I literally said this to Owen Jones. He's just a bloke. I don't care. They replace him with someone else. They replace him with someone else. I've got no love for him. I won't go to bat against anyone who says he's a twat because he's done some really twatty things. I'm not going to argue with them. But you talk to someone who's in a cult, someone who's like, oh, no, definitely can't say anything bad about my fella. You know, whatever fella it is, can't say anything bad about him. You know, my favourite artist never made a bad song. Oh, really? Really? Did Bowie not write The Laughing Gnome? Because I think he fucking wrote The Laughing Gnome. I think we've all heard The Laughing Gnome, Bowie. So, you know, some songs by Bowie hit a bit of a bum nose. China Girl's a little bit fucking racist, to say the least. And so's 5 years, actually. There's a line in it which is a bit rum now. I wouldn't use that one. It's a great song otherwise. But yeah, the point being that when these people who put a leader like Trump on a pedestal, when you say he's a twat, they go, well, yeah, but you love this other person. You love Corbyn. You love this one. You love this. And you're like, no, I don't give a fuck. I don't put anyone on a pedestal because they'll only let you down. But the reaction people give when you say something negative about Trump, or Corbyn for that matter, to people who are part of the cult, it's so visceral. They're so angry. They're so outraged that you could possibly not see that he is the greatest man who ever lived. And you're just like, are you fucking kidding me? What? This fucker. What's so good about him? Oh, God, because of the wonderful things he does. Got no answer. Got no fucking answer. I don't know why this man is so amazing. He just is amazing. And they will, and you've all had this. I'm sure everyone watching this, I'm sure everyone watching this has experienced this, right? They react like you've insulted a member of their family. Like, it is like, I think that some of these people, right, would defend their favourite politician, Farage, Trump, Corbyn, whoever, above the honour of their own grandchildren. You've got to look at this situation and go, what the fuck has gone wrong here? What has happened? You still see people defending Brexit, not with any kind of logic, because there is none. But they're so in love with the idea. They're so addicted to the idea. And you've got 77 million Americans who are addicted to Trump. They absolutely love him no matter what. And he knows it. And when he said he could shoot someone dead on Fifth Avenue in New York, he wasn't fucking lying. That was one time in his life he actually said something that was fucking true. There's the emoluments clause in America, which is supposed to ban presidents from accepting foreign gifts without the approval of Congress. Historically, foreign gifts went to the state, not to the individual, not to the president. Presidents refused or surrendered valuables that were given to them. Obama's ethics team even blocked him from refinancing his mortgage over the optics of it. I mean, these safeguards exist to prevent foreign capture of policy, which is what they have in America right now. Americans' foreign and domestic policy is not being driven by Americans anymore. It's being driven by the fucking Saudis. Why do you think they have gone after transgender people? Why do you think they've gone after women having abortions? Why do you think there's this big push to people to become Christians and, make American Christian again? Caps that you can buy. You can buy caps now in America that say make American Christian again or make American pray. Actually, it says pray. That's fascinating, isn't it? Because if you're the Saudis and you're Islamic, although Jesus is an important prophet in the Islamic religion, make America pray again. Whether you're Jewish and you're praying to Jehovah, or whether you're Muslim, you're praying to Allah, or whether you're Christian, you're praying to Jesus and God. Yeah, make America pray again. Who's paying for that? Who's pushing that agenda? And what else do the Saudis want? Oil. Oil. Fucking loads of oil. Let's just keep selling oil forever. They don't want the green revolution. That terrifies the shit out of them, because 90% of the income, the revenue made by Saudi Arabia, the vast sums of money made by Saudi Arabia are from fucking oil. So why do you think that their man in the White House is saying drill, 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 baby? Yeah, let's pull back on all scientific advancements when it comes to oil. And what else does Saudi Arabia want? Well, I mean, this is a Wahhabist state. This is a state that is the extreme form of Islam, miles away from other countries' state religion. When it's Islamic, it's nowhere near as brutal and as fucking crazed as what the Wahhabist sect of the Sunni version of Islam is, right? What else do they want? They probably want to kill Americans. They probably just want them all fucking dead. Oh, that's a good way of making Americans dead. Oh, let's tell them that vaccines are no good, eh? The vaccines that are mandated in Saudi Arabia, by the way, for Saudi Arabians. You have to get them by law. Yeah, those ones, yeah. Let's tell Americans not to get them. Yeah, let's get the president on board to say that these vaccines, they could do you terrible harm. Unlike measles, which can kill you or make you deaf. And so, yeah, like these safeguards are supposed to exist to stop this sort of thing from happening. What's Americans' foreign policy at the moment? So the domestic policy is being driven by Saudi Arabia. You need to explain this to your American friends or anyone that you know is American. Your domestic policy is being driven by a country that runs under the most extreme form of Sharia law in the world. Okay, now let's talk about foreign policy. Who is driving that? Russia. Obviously. So obvious it's painful. Look at Trump chortling Putin's balls at every opportunity. Letting Putin get away with murder, torture, rape, child abduction. Yeah, just what? Yeah, letting him get away with murdering his political opposition, Navalny, in jail. Letting him get away with blowing up his military rival, the head of Wagner, from a plane. Just gets away with it. No sanctions, don't worry about that. We'll let him back in the G8, even though their GDP per capita is about that of Honduras. Whatever. Whatevs. And then, Trump's behaviour has just demolished these norms deliberately and systematically about what the president's allowed to take as personal enrichment while he's president. Laws that were, well, not even laws, because they were just, I guess it was just, I guess it was just a gentleman's agreement, wasn't it? Because he's just flouting this and no one's going to take him to court over it. And it's democratically catastrophic. Oh, but when you've got policy that's serving your donors and donor countries and crypto fascists, not citizens. It's not serving the citizens by any stretch of the imagination. And it means that authoritarian states like Saudi Arabia, like Russia, gain direct access to US political power through material incentives. I mean, it's just an absolute disgrace. And you got allies and adversaries. We're both adapting the new diplomatic currency is bribing the president, isn't it? And democratic norms are being eroded internationally when the world's most powerful democracy, so-called democracy, embraces transactional governance, and it normalizes a feudal mindset, giving gifts to the king in order for the king to, I don't know, not send the Witchfinder General to your village this year, whatever. Leaders owning the state rather than stewarding it. And other democracies around the world, which have a presidential system copied off America, become vulnerable to similar capture. There's a really wonderful episode of the West Wing where it is explained that the American system of democracy isn't the best in the world, and a lot of places that have copied American systems of democracies have collapsed into tyranny because you're giving too much power to one squishy human being. Something that I've been saying since the 90s. That actually, I think I wrote that at university or even in my fucking A levels. Studying politics. Hey, listen, we've got less than 20 minutes left for a target, a goal, my friends, a goal. If you fancy getting yourself some wonderful confetti to come down in the chat on the side of the screen or underneath this video. We need another 8 super chats, any flavour, so it can be a quid. So if anyone wants to put a quid in this idiot, feel free, and we will get some confetti. And Diz will be very happy because Diz is having a bit of a Sunday, so we need to cheer Diz up. Absolutely. Anyway, so I want to bring it over now from America to this side of the Atlantic, and let's talk about Farage's £9 million donation. He has received this £9 million from Christopher Harborne, privately educated, of course. One of the biggest political donations in UK political history. It is the biggest political donation made by a living person. Harborne is a crypto investor and Bitfinex shareholder, and it's tied to Tether. He owns 12%, I think, of Tether, which is a controversial stablecoin issuer. Stablecoins are a crypto that's pegged to the dollar, or usually the dollar, or another currency. And this has been used, Tether has been used as a way for the Russians to evade the sanctions that have been brought on Russia as a result of their invasion of Crimea in 2014 and their subsequent invasion of the rest of Ukraine in 2022. Reform have now jumped ahead of Labour and the Conservatives for funding, and soon afterwards, Harborne, according to Farage, Harborne asked for nothing in return, and this is the biggest fucking joke ever. Soon after that, Farage publicly promoted a crypto firm that was linked to Harborne. What does Farage want to do if he gets into power in this country? He wants to deregulate the crypto market even further. It's pretty unregulated at the moment. It needs to be regulated a lot better. Viper Scott, thank you very much for the £2 super chat to make Diz happy. Confetti time. Thank you. Oh, it's very kind of you. And another £1 from Viper Scott as well. Thank you very much, Alistair. So asking for nothing in return, except I'm going to deregulate the market to make your cryptocurrency worth more. But also, I'm gonna make sure that I'm going to publicly promote a crypto firm that is linked to you. Transparency International warns parties risk dependency on a small number of ultra-rich donors, which we've seen in the Tory party over many years. And no UK donation cap means that one billionaire, say Elon Musk, can distort the entire political landscape in this country. And how is that fair? How is that right? Labour need to put in a rule to say this can't happen. But they won't, because they're spineless dickheads who have now banned women from going to the women's conference, the Labour Women's Conference. Women can't go there anymore. Trying to exclude trans women from everyday life. Trying to exclude a minority who have committed no crime and done nothing wrong. And they're trying to exclude an entire group. Imagine if they said they weren't going to allow Muslims. Imagine if they said they weren't going to allow Jews. Imagine if they said they weren't going to allow black people. You know. A couple of quid for the meter. Oh, thank you very much, Peter M. That is very kind, Peter M. 15 minutes we got now for 5 super chats, and then we'll get the confetti. So that's kind of cool. But yes, Trump and Farage's worlds interlocked both financially and politically. Right? These are two cowboys, clowns, clangers, grifters who are just out there to feather their own nests. They are only interested in politics to make money for themselves and live in the life to which they have become accustomed. Nigel Farage gets £70,000 a year for doing nothing. Even if that disgusting ballsack of a man did nothing and sat on the couch playing PlayStation for an entire year, he would still get £70,000. Why, I hear you say? Because that's his EU pension. His EU pension that we, the taxpayers of this country, had to pay for. It was part of the £39 billion divorce deal with the EU. Part of that was paying the fucking pensions for millionaire in this country, millionaire fucknuts like Nigel Farage to live a fucking cushy life. £70,000 for doing nothing. That he gets right now. He gets that right now, even though he's not pensionable age. Is that fair? Is that right? I don't think so. Guys made £1.5 million in scams on the side, right? While being MP for Clacton, which he hardly ever goes to. Both Trump and Farage are both empowered by crypto-linked billionaires and opaque international networks. If you want to get money from Russia, let's take a round figure. Let's say 9 million. Okay, just pluck at a figure out of my head. If the leaders of Russia, if Putin, the Kremlin, the Duma want to give money to Nigel Farage to fuck us in this country, because he's already fucked us to a tune of £1 million, and he's not going to stop anytime soon. He wants to fuck us till we're dead. That is what the reform slogan should be. Fuck the UK till it's dead. Okay? That's what they want to do. So you've got £9 billion, right? And you want to give that to Nigel Farage. Oh no, we've got sanctions against us. We can't possibly give it directly to Nigel Farage. So what can you do? You can go on Tether and you can put lots of money into that stable coin or that cryptocurrency, whatever you want to call it. And then the owner of 12% of that crypto coin can then give that money, maybe take a little bit for himself. Let's say 10 million. Yeah, and that's not even a round figure. Let's say they want to give 10 million to Nigel Farage. They put it in cryptocurrency. The owner of a huge chunk of that cryptocurrency then gives that money. He's a British citizen and a Thai citizen. He's got a Thai name, whatever. He takes $1 million for himself. Thank you very much. Ka-ching. And he gives 9 million to Farage. And then there's no paper link that we can find between the Russians giving Harborn that money and then Harborn giving that money to his old classmate, Farage. They didn't go to the same school, but, same background. Same posh, privately educated, preening, pompous prick background. Harborn was already on my private school mafia list, which is nearly 1,300 people on it now. All of them household names, or pretty much. There's a couple of High Court judges that you might not know the names of, but they're High Court judges, so I thought I'd better put them on anyway. But so many of those names, 99% of those names you know. These are people you know, and they all went to private school. Motherfuckers. I'll tell you who's not a motherfucker. Liz Allen. Liz Allen's awesome. Thank you very much, Liz Allen, for the £5 super chat. That's very, very kind of you. $5, $5 US. And then Viper Scott has dropped another quid in. Thank you very much to Alistair there. And also Lost Missionary has also dropped an extra quid in. That is very kind of you. And then Peter M has dropped some more money in. Thank you very much for the £2 super chat, saying the inaugural piss prize. The inaugural, I love that. Okay, one more and we get confetti. One more and we get the confetti. There we go. We get the confetti. Woohoo! Woo! Thank you very much to Lost Missionary there for the confetti. That is very kind of you. And now we can, it will already have gone off in the chat, I think. And now we can make it happen. We can make it happen, I think, over on this channel as well, over here, where I am. Confetti time, demands Viper Scott with another super chat. Thank you so much, everyone. And now I will release the confetti. 3, 2, 1, confetti time! Oh, yeah. Yeah, get on the confetti, everyone. All the confetti belong to us. Thank you so much to everyone who chipped in for that. Awesome. That's quite fun. Hey, let's put a smile on my face. Anyway, talking about how Farage has been bribed by... Oh my God, am I being bribed by my viewers to think the way that I think? I'm being bribed to make more shows. Quid pro quo, claddies. Anyway, so yeah, Farage and Trump's worlds totally interlock. They're both in it to feather their own nest. They're both linked to crypto-linked billionaires and these opaque international networks, oil barons, tobacco barons, gold barons, the merchants of death, you know, the arms companies and etc. They both promote deregulation that directly benefits the donors that they want to appease, and both have political movements that are fueled by grievance, nationalism, and billionaire patronage. And then you've got the policy agreement between the US far right and the UK far right becomes donor-driven rather than voter-driven. And the transatlantic oligarchical ecosystem, it forms, doesn't it? The money buys influence, influence protects that money. And they just get richer and richer and richer and richer as time goes on. Anyway, so what can be done? What can be done? What practical? Now I've hit the goal, and we've had our confetti. Hang on. Do you know what time? What time does Supertansky do her shows on Sunday? Does anyone know what time? Is it usually 8 o'clock, is it? Can someone let me know in the chat? Because I need to promote it. Anyway, so what can be done, right? Well, in the US, we need to see statutory bans. Oh, Paulie Donkey, thank you very much, Paulie Donkey, for the 99 pence. That's really cool, thank you. And a little upside down smiley face. Oh, that's very kind. Some good news, at least, as far as I can tell. David Tennant is not one of the private school mafia. No, he's not. He's not. And his real name, why does it come up with sign in chat at the bottom of the thing there? That's a bit weird, isn't it? Why is it saying sign in chat? Has that kicked me out? Have I been kicked out my own chat? That's no good. 8 p.m.-ish. Okay. Sorry, let me just adjust this. The chat here. How long's it been doing that? I didn't even notice. I'm just going to move it down a little bit. There you go. Mise en scene, man. Mise en scene. Okay. Fixed. So I've got to look the way I want it to look. You know, nothing happens by accident on this channel. On this channel, at least. Yeah, so if you join me and Tan tonight, I'll be helping out. I don't know if I'm just producing or I'm actually going to be on the show. Well, 8 o'clock tonight, Super Tansky's channel. I'll be rabbiting on, possibly, but Tam definitely will be. She's been having a bit of a rough time of it recently, so if you want to come along and make everyone feel a little bit better, because even if you're not having a great time of it, I mean, just the fact that we know that other people are not having a good time of it is a little bit comforting, because there's nothing worse than thinking that you're the only one who's having a bad time of it when everyone else is having a party. No one else is having a party at the moment, except maybe Nigel Farage. Anyway, so yeah, in the US, these are the practical countermeasures that they need to put into place to stop Trump doing what he's doing and stop future Trumps doing this same sort of thing. There needs to be a statutory ban on presidents owning or promoting profit-generating assets while in office. There needs to be criminal penalties for undisclosed foreign gifts, mandatory transparency for crypto transactions to link to office holders, and they need to block deregulatory crypto bills until foreign money safeguards exist. In fact, even then, I don't want to see any deregulatory crypto transactions, because it's deregulated enough. You saw what happened when we deregulated the banking markets and the mortgage markets to such an extent that there was, and it ended up being the financial crash, 2007, 2008, there was a run on the banks. There was a run on Northern Rock in this country. The Bank of Scotland had to be bailed out by the fucking government. Like, that's where we got to because of deregulation. A direct result, a direct consequence of deregulation. So in the UK, we need to introduce donation caps for individuals and corporations. The Labour government could do that tomorrow, which they definitely should. There needs to be a real-time disclosure of large donations and donor interest. In fact, that 9 million that was given to Farage was actually given to him over the summer. We only found out about it this week. And then we need a strengthened lobby register with enforced teeth. We need to treat, internationally, we need to treat political bribery as a transnational crime. We need to have coordinated sentences for offenders. And we need FATF style monitoring for crypto political influence. That's the international monitoring for banking. We need that for crypto political influence as well. We need to have that transparency there. And we need OECD level standards for foreign gift reporting and finance, political finance transparency. We need that transparency there around the world for any country that wants to regard itself as developed. If it doesn't wants to be a fucking tin pot dictatorship, then fair enough, who am I to judge? But if we're going to deal with these countries that have a lot of money and a lot of influence, we need to make sure that they're above board and that their political power can't just be bought by foreign oligarchs, which happens time and again. And we need to also avoid this kind of, oh, everyone does it cynicism that shields corruption. No, they don't. They really don't. Not to the same degree. No, and also, if they're found out, they tend to be kicked out the party that they're in, or they face some kind of repercussions for this kind of stuff. Whereas Trump has just sailed through all this. Farage is just sailing through all this and going, yeah, whatever. And they're asking him, who's funding you? Who's funding you? To Nigel Farage. There's a famous clip of being asked this by a reporter for Channel 4 from 2019. Who's funding you? Who's funding you? Is this guy giving you money? Is this guy who's paying your rent? Who's paying your £11,000 a month or whatever the fuck it was for his rent? Jesus Christ, what do you rent for that? A fucking palace, a castle. He wouldn't answer. And then at the end, he said, the Russians. He actually said it out of his face. He said, the Russians. And it probably was. It probably fucking was. So yeah, just absolutely fucking disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful from top to bottom, all around the world. And we need to support organizations that promote transparency. Transparency International is one, and anti-corruption reform. We need to start writing to our MPs saying, I'm not having this. I am not having foreign billionaires buying up our political system. Will you please do something about it, you dozy motherfuckers? Are you so stupid that you don't want a job in a few years' time when you get yeeted out of office by a reform fucker who's been given £1 billion to, do their campaign? You've got like £5,000 for your leafleting campaign, knocking on people's doors. They've been given £1 billion for a fucking, every single billboard in the ward, in the constituency, every single, house gets a gold fucking door or whatever you want to do. Fuck knocking on people's doors. Give everyone a fucking car. Everyone in the constituency gets a car if you vote for me. I'll have the money to do it because there's no cap on foreign donations to our political fucking parties, seemingly. We need to get it sorted because otherwise all these fucking MPs who think that, they're doing the best they can, it's a thing you hear quite a lot, they're going to be out of a job in 4 years' time. Maybe remind them of that they're going to be out of a job unless they fucking tackle this immediately and possibly get a new leader. And, keep naming the specifics, the gold bar, the Rolex, the £9 million fucking check, the Peace Prize, the FIFA Peace Prize, because the details of this, it punches the propaganda. There was a clip that I saw from LBC the other day, and it was one of these Trump fucking fanatics. And they were talking about how free speech was being imperiled in the UK. And they gave an example of curtailed, I should say, rather than imperiled. But free speech was being curtailed. And they get this example of this 82-year-old who was arrested for something they wrote on Facebook. And the presenter said, okay, who? Where did that go? What court? Name me some names. Oh, I've got no specifics. And then the presenter went on to list all of the times that America, because this was an American who was being interviewed, the American president has stifled free speech, from kicking journalists out of the White House, the Associated Press, from telling schools what they're allowed to teach, and telling saying that senators should have the death penalty for speaking out against extrajudicial killings by the Trump administration. The fact that people are having their phones gone through when they arrive at the airport and are being imprisoned. Foreigners are being imprisoned because they're looking through the phone, and there'll be a like somewhere on a friend's post that says, "Oh, isn't Trump a twat?" And they're being thrown in jail. Free speech. That's the curtailment. That's the chilling free speech. What about the students who have been deported for supporting Palestine? Is that free speech? What about the people who have been there's been a witch hunt against them because they made a joke about Charlie Kirk carking it? That have been they've been outed, and they've found out where they worked, and Trumpers have demanded that these people be sacked for making a joke about Charlie Kirk carking it. Glad I worked for myself, mate. Glad I worked for myself. Ms. Paula Thomas, £5 super chat. Thank you very much. The crypto donations law is fixable. When a similar problem made mortgage fraud legal in 1996, it was fixed pretty damn quick. Yeah, I hope that. Graham's badger should be wearing a Santa hat, says Nick. That is a bloody good idea. That is a very, very good idea. All good. I'll write that down. I'll get it. Paulie Donkey, there's Ed Miliband bacon eating tutorials, but we're not much. Look, Trump's presidency is being treated as a purchasable commodity, isn't it? Right? In summary, like Farage's party is being built on the checkbooks of billionaires, not even British billionaires, people like Elon Musk, people like Holbrook, who don't even fucking live here, right? This is not democracy. This is auction politics. And politicians, right, they serve us. They seem to forget this, right? To protect and serve. That's the line, isn't it, from America, from the police over there? To protect and serve. That's what our politicians are supposed to do, more than anything else. Are they protecting us? Are they protecting our trans sisters and brothers? I don't think so. And are they serving us if they're just taking money off at the highest fucking bidder? I would say no. And we've got to get a hold of this. So please, after this show, take a moment this afternoon, write to your MP. Get ChatGPT to fucking write it if you want to. I don't care. Right? Just write to your MP and say there must be something done about this. And put in the fact that they're going to lose their seat if they don't do something about this. So they might have a little bit of personal interest in doing something about this and capping donations to political parties. And people are going, oh, well, what about the unions funding Labour? Yeah, but you can still cap that. You say you've got to have X many members. You can give X amount of money. It's multiple people. It's not like one person giving all this money. It's all the people in the union giving that money. And it looks like Unite the Union might be sacking off Labour, which is one of its biggest donors, but also one of its biggest ball aches, because Unite the Union can fuck the fuck off because they are a bunch of fucking Brexit-loving motherfuckers. Anyway, so yeah, we need a democracy, right? We need a proper democracy in this country. And that can only survive when the public insists that the government cannot be bought. And we can help make that happen. Please write to your MP. Please. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to head off, and I'll be back this evening with Tansky. I don't know if I'm going to just be producing the show or if I'm going to be actually yakking away with Tan, but it'll be on her channel. So it's at Super Tansky with 3 I's. And if you're not already subscribed to her channel, you definitely should, because it's really good and really funny. We'll be going live around 8 o'clock tonight, I believe. I believe it's going to be around 8 o'clock. Slightly earlier, 7:30. 7:30 works. Okay. Right, 7:30 tonight. 7:30. Just had it confirmed. 7:30. We're going to be going live tonight, me and Tansky. And we'll be talking about all this shit that's been going on. Tansky is poised to rip 7 shades of shit out of Liz Truss and her attempt to do this. She tried to do this from a cupboard. Bless her. Bless her cotton socks. Anyway, so I want to say thank you so much for all of the chat. Thanks for everyone for watching. Thanks for the super chats. Really, really, really appreciate it. It's really kind of you to do that. I'm going to just give me 1 second because I need to just copy something across. I don't know why some of the animations on some of the shows have not already been copied across onto this one. Oh, it has. I just didn't see it, but there you go. Anyway, subscribe to the channel, give us a like, subscribe and hit the bell notification icon, and I will love you forever. It will be really cool. Sorry, I did actually have that animation on this screen, but I couldn't find it, so I copied and pasted it from another one. I need a producer. Of my own. But in the meantime, have a great day, and until I see you again, hopefully at 7:30 tonight on Super Tansky's channel, but if not, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, bright and early for the morning brew, I'll say thanks for watching. Hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye. Better? Yeah? Good. Good night.